Hello there. Please let me know if this is too loud. I played around with the mic again and I shouldn't do that right before a live. So hello, my name's Laurel Papworth. I'm a social media strategist and a lecturer and trainer and that sort of thing. And we're doing boosted posts for government and we're going to do them properly. I am multicasting currently on Facebook page, Twitter/Periscope, LinkedIn and YouTube Live. Just in case you want to switch channels. I'm hoping the sound is all good. So 1 o'clock on Thursdays is lecture time. This is where I'm going to deep dive things. Monday is me chatting with you about social media news. So we go through the news together of the changes that have happened on social media in the last week on Mondays at 10:45. On Thursdays at 1 p.m. Sydney time, it's a lecture. So let's go to the screen so we can start looking at boosted posts. And this is specifically for government, politicians, local government, because there's a number of issues. I do need to give you a word of warning that the new Facebook pages are being rolled out. Yes, I know we just got one. We got Facebook version 5 in 2020. But the pages are removing the number of likes and there's a range of other things that are happening. And I should probably also say, even though it's not the news session, that Creator Studio, Business Manager, and the other one are all being rolled into Business Suite. But we'll get there when we get there. Let's just look at boosted posts today. Can you see my screen okay? It looks like you can. Goody. Please let me know if sound's not good. I have a habit of going up and down, I guess like most people, but I do worry I'm too loud 1 minute and too quiet the next. Maybe I should just whisper. So this is my Facebook training page. You can tell that it's got tutor on it and I've got my hair and rollers. So this is a business page I use for training. In other words, it's not best practices, okay? It's just me having a bit of a giggle on the page and putting and storing my videos there. So if you ever lose a video, you can always go and have a look there. What we have on the page is a pinned post here, which is the previous one. And I need to mention the previous video because it's a lot more in-depth on the first section we're going to do, which is building targeted audiences. Preferred audience, core audience, lookalike audience, custom audiences, saved audiences, pixel audiences, you name it, it's in that video. So you can always go and look that one up if you like. Marching right along. I put up a post just a few minutes ago. I'm going to pop me in the bottom left. You don't need to see over there. And it says at 1 o'clock, blah, blah is coming up. And I wanted to just do a quick text post just because it's the easiest one for me to do. And just to explain that, yes, you can click boost post, but I want you to see the difference between boost post and then how we're going to do it without using the boost post, but we're still going to boost a post, but we're going to use the full ad manager. So there's audience details here, which I can retarget or I can do better targeting just simply by typing stuff in here. You know, I want to target mums, I want to target people in Wollongong or people of a particular age, but it's still extremely basic. They actually do tell you here for advanced targeting features, go to Ads Manager, and that's one of the things that we'll be doing today. I'm going to close that one. I can, through Boosted, do a basic 5-day or 10-day or something like that and spend a few dollars a day. And there is nothing wrong with boosting posts, particularly if it's a Friday afternoon, you're about to walk out of the office, you notice that a post is doing really well and you think, I'll just put a couple of bucks on that and that will tide it over the weekend when we know more people are online, but that you don't want to sit there and baby it through to try and make it go more viral or something like that. So chuck a few bucks down on a post that's doing really well. Nothing wrong with that. Why would you want to use Ads Manager? And the core there is to make sure that it's the right message to the right audience at the right time. So that's what we're going to do. Also, we have to comply with a whole lot of rules and regulations. So we're going to have a look at that right now. If you haven't already verified your account, in order to run social issues, elections, or political ads and campaigns, you absolutely must verify your identity and turn on two-factor authentication. So if you go to facebook.com/ID, if somebody could put that in the chat, that'd be awesome. facebook.com/ID. It will take you to this page. This is only for social media managers that are working in political areas like local government or councils or something which Facebook could consider an issue. And when you're on facebook.com/ID, it takes you to this page. I could tell you how to navigate there. You go to your profile, you go to the settings menu, you go to general, but facebook.com/ID does it all very well. And then you click Start Identity Confirmation, and then you want to run ads about social issues. And then you'll go through two-factor authentication. I use an app because I can't always rely on having my phone SMS with me. So for instance, if I'm working out of Bali, back in the day, I used to go and work in co-working centres in Bali so that I could still do my work but enjoy a swim in the afternoons. That was back when the world was normal. And I didn't do it every week. I would go there over the Christmas New Year period to get away and do some work. And to write the book that I never published, my workbook for government. But never mind. It'll get there one day, I promise you. So facebook.com/ID. Thank you, Katie. I really appreciate you putting that up on our little screen. There it is on the chat so people can click on it and go through the verification. I actually have a video on how to do two-factor authentication and the verification and uploading your ID or getting a justice of the peace or notary public to sign a document if you don't want to upload the actual document itself, facsimile thereof. But I think most people know how to do this stuff today. If you don't, let me know, and I have the video available for my clients, but if you want me to edit it and put it up online, we will get there and do that. You have to have two-factor authentication. You have to have verified your ID with a driver's license or passport, and I've got the list of the documents. The other one you have to do is allow the posts, the ads, boosted posts, whatever you want to call them, to be run through the ad library. So it has to be under issues, elections, and politics. And you'll note that they tell you, even if you're using an API tool, like a third-party ad tool or posting tool, you have to have this here. So the API, application programming interface, allows products like, Hootsuite, I guess, to connect in a two-way system database, call, get, and push with the Facebook system. I feel like I mucked that up. Basically, it means you can either use Facebook natively and then the ads go in the ad library, or you can use a third-party tool and then the ads go in the ad library through the API. It's the way it chats. And they have to go in there if they're considered issues, elections, or politics. And when I'm looking at the Facebook ad library report, I can see that there are currently 58,519 ads in the ad library that fall under political and election ads, and that the total amount spent was 7.6 million since August 2020. A lot of that is, and this is kind of surprising, these numbers have dropped and dropped dramatically, and it's because the $113 million that Donald Trump spent, and most of that was in the last year. I think the actual number is from May a couple of years ago, but it was only 200,000. Now it's 113 million. But since his account was blocked and his ad manager was blocked and all the disclaimers were blocked and all of the there's different groups that share the disclaimer, like MAGA this and Trump women and blah blah, make America great again and all kinds of stuff. All those pages have been blocked, so therefore their spend is no longer showing in the political spend in the ad library, which is a real shame. But good thing I've got videos and screenshots of it all for the last I don't know how many years. Goodness me, how long I've been teaching this. But anyway, so we can go through and we can do a spend tracker and look at the advertiser and see what they're spending. I can do a whole session on ad library if you're interested. I think it's kind of awesome. How's it showing up? Oh, pretty good. Okay. And then the last thing is also you need to prepare the disclaimer like a political disclaimer like you would on a normal ad, and make sure that that is shared across. In the case of Joe Biden, I think he shares it with, let me just go into Joe Biden. I think he shares it with Kamala and the Democrats and a couple of other groups. Advertisers that share a disclaimer with Joe Biden. Let me get out of the way for you. Kamala Harris, Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, BuzzFeed, independent media, not Biden Victory Fund, Biden for President. So these are all the different groups that share disclaimers. You know, if you're the Labour Party or the Liberal Party in Australia, you need to share disclaimers. And also, I'm guessing that I haven't looked, that the councils also share disclaimers with their different pages. Maybe the library? How political is the library? So once, that's 15 minutes, and I did not want to spend more than that on getting your ad manager personal profile set up, verified, disclaimers, two-factor authentication, and being added to the ad library. So they're the things you need to do to prepare. Once you've done that, to boost a post properly, you want to go into your ads manager, which is business.facebook.com/adsmanager/manage, and then I'll put it in campaigns. So let me just go, all this rubbish here, look at this. I've put the link in the chat. Let me put the chat up so that you can, why is that, is chat working? Interesting. Very interesting. It looks like LinkedIn chat is not coming in again. And so I really apologize to the people that watch on LinkedIn. I always get quite a few comments on LinkedIn, but I have to respond to them later. And I'm very sorry about that. Have a chat with LinkedIn. Ask them why they don't allow my comments to come through into my multi-streaming software. Has to do with the LinkedIn API, I think. Anyway, when you're on the ads manager, and by the way, if you're on Business Suite, this is a question I'm often asked. Business Suite looks like this. Oops, wrong screen. This one. So this is the Business Suite. And for the time being, and only for the time being, if you want to go back to Business Manager, you have to go to give feedback at the bottom of the screen and switch back to the old version. They're going to ask you how they improve, and you just go, nope. And now you're back in your Business Manager, and you can choose your Business Manager. You can also choose it from up here, however many you've got. So we're in here, and the first thing we do is we go into audiences. And again, I did a whole lecture on this last time. I think this is just a little large. So I want to create either a saved audience, which is the manual audience. I want to reach women that have children that their kids go to the blah blah high school or primary school, and they watch, I don't know, Queen's Gambit on Netflix, and I put all that details in there. A lookalike audience are the stranger audience that look like one of your other audiences, and then custom audiences are pixel audiences that visited a landing page on a website, people that visited the family page, or people that visited the policy on education page, or whatever it is you've got going on in your little government world. And shopping obviously not going to be of interest to you, but lead forms. If you've created Facebook lead forms that people have filled in, you can target them. People that watched a video of yours. So if you live streamed your town hall or AMA, Ask Me Anything, whatever your little political heart has been following with regards to content creation and engagement, you can upload a customer list. That would be your email list. Make sure, politicians, that you have got that in your terms and conditions, that you may approach them on other platforms. Talk to the lawyers about it. So we did a whole video on this last Thursday, remember? So I don't want to do anything more with the audiences, except I'm now going to go back to audiences and just give you a quick list of them. No, I want to go to my audiences. I don't want to create one. Okay, let's go back. This is what happens when you... Oh, I remember now. This is my training account, so I don't have any saved up. I'm going to have to create one very quickly. I'm not going to do a automated audience. I'm going to do a saved audience, and I'm going to call it, I don't know, Lithgow. I live just outside of Lithgow, and we're going to call it Gov Training. I have to put training in because that reminds me it's not real. And then mums something, I don't know. And so I will say people who live in Lithgow. I'm doing this so I can save it and use it every time I boost a post. You do not want to be recreating this every time you boost a post, okay? And I want to say mother. Okay, I want to say parent. I think it came through, it's just slow. And I want to say they like Queen's Gambit. No, Star Wars. I think Queen's Gambit's gone off. Everybody's watching Bridgerton today, so excuse me for not keeping up with what all the cool kids are doing. You want to go in through this in a lot more detail, but I'm going to create my saved audience so that once I've got the audience saved, now I can create posts, place them on the page, and then boost them to this audience. So I want a bunch of these. Once the audience is created, yes, we're going to create a campaign. Saying create an ad. It better take me to campaigns or I'm going to be cross. Good. And the campaign that you want, let me make that bigger. I think I dropped it down for some reason. The type of campaign, they call it consideration, but they used to call it objective. Oh no, they do call it objective, or CTA, call to action, is engagement, because you want them to engage with a post you've already placed up. You don't want them to install your council app. You don't want them to watch more videos unless that is your engagement, but mostly you're going to choose engagement. I'm going to choose post engagement. I want more engagement on a post. I want to boost a post. I'm going to name my campaign training campaign boosting. That'll do. And then I'm going to do the same for the ad set. Now, I don't recommend you use this format. I do this so I can delete them afterwards, because otherwise I end up with 50 million. What am I doing? Ad set. And then let me finish. I'm not very good at multitasking. I have no idea why I do this live. I should just do pre-records. But I do like questions when people have them. So I'm click continue. Oh, just to be clear here, campaign is the overarching bucket. It's kind of like, what's our goal? A big picture of the money you want to spend, And then the ad set gets into who are you targeting, what time of day do you want to target them, and then more nitty gritty with the money stuff. You know, we want to do A/B testing and we want to split the funding between those and blah, blah, blah. And then ad is the pure, what you consider an ad. It's the creative, the photo, the images, and or in this case, the post, so that we can actually get to the post down here. And everything's a matrix structure. So audiences sit out on their own, ads sit on their own, ad sets, campaigns, all of them, and then you just pull them all in to the bucket as you need them. I'm not sure bucket is the best analogy, but we're going with it. Special ad categories. You're required to declare if your ads are about social issues. And what's interesting with me, I'm in the way again. What's interesting for me is that I did not turn this on because I was targeting abroad ambassadors, and I was doing a range of projects there, and they still picked me up as being social issues, elections and politics because my audience were politicians. So this wasn't me being a politician talking to an audience, like a stakeholder constituent type of an audience. This was me as a business person talking to politicians, and so we still have to turn that on. There you go. I'm going to turn it off just because I don't want to go through that issue at the moment of verifying this account as well. I've already got other accounts verified, and we covered that at the beginning. You can spend some time going through these. You get to relook at these in the next section anyway, so I'm just going to click next on the bottom right hand side of the screen. Don't forget, if you've got a question, this is the time to ask me. If you come back in an hour and watch the recording of this, I'm probably going to be, well, I don't know, having a cup of tea, I think. And I haven't had lunch yet, and it's 1:30, and I would like to raise a complaint about that. Anyway, back to this. So now we're in the ad set and the boosting. The first thing that I do for boosted posts is I change it to lifetime budget. And the reason why I change it to the lifetime budget, let me just go in. I always start tomorrow because of the time differences. This is saying Sydney time. My other account says Pacific time. I just get so confused. But I work internationally, so sometimes I have to work in Pacific time. Always run your ads for a minimum of 14 days. And the best one is 21 days? More. The algorithm takes 14 days to optimize, to say these people clicked on it, these people didn't. I can find a lookalike audience. This custom audience worked, this custom audience didn't. Women 28 to 35 didn't engage, but women 22 to 26 did. So it's doing A/B split testing anyway. So you want to run it for 14 days, give it a bit of a shot. Algorithms don't, well, there are some algorithms that work within 24 hours or data sets, but this one's at least 14 days. How many days is that? 22, 10, 9, 10, 11, 12 days? Let's put $10 a day down. 120. That'll do, won't it? You can put down 5 if you want. I don't know what you boost your post for. When you come to create a new audience and custom audience, it's confusing, okay? Custom audiences are those automated audiences that I mentioned in the last lecture. The people who joined your email list, the people that visited your website, they're all automatically picked up and targeted. But I just created a saved audience. So I'm going to use a saved audience. And there it is. Lithgow Gov Training Mums. Remember that one? So what you want to have, because you're in politics, you're a hall of brands, you need to think about all the different groups that you need to target with different things that they may not be interested in. Like, for instance, if you're talking to the youth about youth services, teenagers, are you really going to target them with senior citizens policies. And if you're talking to senior citizens, do you really want to talk to them about childcare in the area if you're a local politician? So think through your different psychographics, personas, customer avatars, whatever you want to call them. Watch the other video, you'll get a lot more information. So I chose mums in Lithgow who like Star Wars. Okay, that was kind of interesting. And when you pop me out of the way, you'll see that the potential reach is 13,000 people. And we know that people need to see things a number of times before they retain the information and or act on it. So the call to action does not work the first time people see things. I guess unless you're putting up something free and give away, but even then they might come back later and then find out it's gone. If you want to change to manual placements, you can connect your Instagram account and Messenger and have people message you things and things like that. So I'll let you play in that area. I'll let you play with the ad costs. You want to optimize. If I'm sending people off Facebook onto a website, I spend a lot of time on this. I'm a little less so when I'm boosting a post. Now this is done, we're actually going to pick the post that we're going to boost. So click next. And it says, select an existing post for your ad. Yeah, I got to get out of the way. Actually, let me put me over there. That's good enough. That'll do. There's two errors. We haven't chosen the post, and then because we haven't chosen the post, there is no text. So once we choose a post, we fix all that. And you can either select the post here or you can come down to here. And we've chosen use an existing post. It's defaulted to that because we chose engagement in our campaign. Remember up here? We chose engagement. So therefore, the post is there. And then add creative, select post. Now you can create a post from scratch and it will post it on the page. So this is not dark posting. This is, I actually want to show you how to boost an actual post that's already on your page. So we're just going to do that for now. Select the post. These get errors because it says the videos have to be between 5 and 120 seconds long for in-stream ads. But I want to boost. So if I wanted to boost videos, I'd have to choose the boost video section. And then I have to turn off Instagram. I knew they were going to do this. So go back into the ad set. Remember, this is where I said you choose the placements. Manual placement, turn off Instagram, moving right along. And I'm going to choose an existing ad, existing post. Click on the existing post and now I can boost the text post that I'd written. That is that one there. Right? So this one here. And remember, if you watch the last video, you only use images if you have a visual story type for your audience. So if the people are visual, give them images. If you have a text story type, like researchers, historians, journalists, wordsmith, editors, you don't put images in, okay? They're text story types and they won't see stuff with images in it because the algorithm says, nah, this guy's a journalist. He doesn't like images. He likes to read articles. So just be aware of that. Let's go back to here. So we've got, this is the post that I want to boost. Whoops. So I choose the post here. And I click continue. There is no image because Lazy Pants didn't put an image up with it. My audience are both types, and that's because they're comms people. So comms people connect to all kinds of communication type of mediums. So they'll watch and they'll observe Instagram and YouTube where the visual story types are, and then they'll read articles and read blog posts and do text story type things. But they're a very unusual subset. Comms people are more interested in communication than in the style. Your typical audience are not that. It's giving me a preview of all the different areas. I could actually go back into the ad set and change the audience if I want to. I can add a call to action button, and I'll let you play with this. I think I want to keep moving on this. I haven't added my pixel tracking to this particular ads manager, this particular business manager. It's on my other one. But I could add my pixel in here so that I'm tracking people who clicked through, and from the post on the page, they may have clicked through if there was a link and gone and read something or done something. Once that's all done, you're going to click publish. I do recommend, if you are a social media manager in the area, I have this page bookmarked. If you're interested in it, I can put it in the discussion area. And I keep up to date on what Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and all the others are saying about their terms of service, specifically around political ads. And given the rather interesting scenario that's been happening since the beginning of January around American politics and what politicians can and can't do on platforms and getting blocked, I fully expect for the advertising terms of service to change very soon, or at least to be made big and very, very obvious. And I think lawyers will probably be looking at it in detail as well. So I will put that up for you. I bookmark all of these because I never know when a client's going to come to me upset because it's up on the screen now. It's facebook.com/policies. That's a good one anyway. And then /ads. And from there, you can get into all the rest of the ad stuff. And it's the special ads that are of the concern. And the reason why they're concerned is because they are for local government. So they're for councils, they're for politicians, they're for activist groups. If you're from any of those, they're for government. You need to keep an eye on all the changes that happen. And be aware when they ask for verification, often, they didn't do it this time, sometimes they'll block you from doing anything until you've gone through the verification process, which could be, mine said 2 days. I've seen other people say it may take weeks. So I think mine said 48 hours, the one I just put up. I've had a lot of people recently, and I mean a lot. Why am I wearing a hoodie and it suddenly got hot? It wasn't hot earlier. But anyway, I've had a lot of people recently who've had their accounts suspended. They've been questioned about the special issues and political ads. They've had a whole range of things going on, and it's taking time to sort them out. Always make sure you have lots of admins on your accounts in case one of them gets blocked. Like if that ad manager gets blocked, you want to make sure you can move across to someone else. What else did I want to say? Oh yeah, ads get blocked all the time, and it's because the algorithm's not particularly smart yet. The algorithm is looking over the shoulder of how many moderators does Facebook and Twitter and all those have. I think it's 10,000. I used to have this written down for presentations, but I haven't done a presentation, like a live conference presentation, for such a long time. And I don't know, it's just giving me admin guidelines. I don't want that. Anyway, I'll have a look it up. But I think there's 10,000 Facebook employees looking at things, but the algorithm does the first pass through. And then when it says your ad's been rejected or it's a social issues ad or something, and then you click review, it goes through to a human being. And the algorithm is looking over the human being's shoulder to learn from the human being through artificial intelligence what is approved and what's not. It goes to more than one moderator so that the algorithm can learn from 100 moderators what percentage chose which, yes or no, or for what reason. I ran into issues recently because of the government videos where Facebook thinks I'm doing political stories and all I'm doing is doing marketing stories to politicians, not political stories to constituents. So I've had a number of things rejected and I'm working on getting a human being to look at those. I don't hold up much help, but you never know. It's one of the reasons I don't put all my eggs in one basket and I multi-stream across Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn and YouTube Live, because I don't ever want to be blocked on one of those channels and not have the other ones working as well. Let me just see, what's the questions? Oh, you can hear? Oh, good, thank you. And right, I think if there's nothing else, I'll leave it there. I wanted this video available to me and everybody for people who are coming into my Zoom sessions for mentoring. I'm working with councils and government at the moment. And then I can send them this video as a technical walkthrough. It's better how can I explain this? Because I'm a social media manager and I physically know how to do things, I try to do pre-records of just the technical click here, click there. There's a little bit of strategy in here, but mostly it's that. And then that frees up our strategy sessions for actual strategy, which are specific to that council or specific to that department or whatever it is. So if you're watching this in the future, hi, how's COVID? And it is 21st of January 2021. And I want to point that out because the new Facebooks is coming through. And I imagine all the platforms will be doing a big cleanup on political ads in the aftermath and all the legal cases that will come out of blocking so many entities, political entities, post USA election. Katie, you're very welcome. Thank you for joining me today. And I will be back on Monday at 10:45 a.m. Sydney time with social media news. And then 1 p.m. Next week, Thursday, what are we doing? I think I said something in the last one. I know it's government again. Oh, I remember now. I need to write a note on this. It is analytics, specifically for government. You know, you guys are not necessarily looking for return on investment that is around how many products did you move out of the warehouse. So we're going to look at analytics for government, kind of what to look at, where to look, what do the reports look like, because I think I've seen such a wide variety of analytic reports that government write and where they're focused, and some of it's just a straight publishing of the spreadsheets from the platforms. I don't know if you know this, but you can download all the spreadsheets each month, and others do a much more qualitative as well as a quantitative analysis. So I'd like to go through some of those issues with you. So that one actually is both technical and strategic. And if you have any questions about social media analytics. We'll do more than Facebook next week, Facebook and Instagram. We've done 2 sessions on Facebook and Instagram. I'd like to cover LinkedIn analytics, Twitter analytics, Facebook and Instagram analytics, and I'm not sure about YouTube. I think YouTube's a bit of a funny one, and we're moving into broadcasty type of analytics then. Yeah, okay. That was fun. I enjoyed that. I don't know if you did. And I really hope this did work on LinkedIn. I will go there and check later in a minute. Actually, I don't like to leave it too long, and say hello to people and answer questions if there's any there. And in the meantime, I'm going to love you and leave you until, I need to try my new button, until next Monday.